We have as our next guest Jenny Palmiero. She's the host of Love and Autism, a conference with heart, and she is an LMFT and the owner of the Family Guidance and Therapy Center of Southern California. Welcome, Jenny.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this conference, when I read about it, it sounded so exciting to Shannon and to me. We thought, wow, love is something we could spend a lot more time on in general, but particularly for those on the spectrum. And I want to just start with the conference. Tell us what it's about. It's first of all, it's at San Diego State University on August 23rd and 24th. And tell us what the conference is focusing on, Jenny.
Sure. So this conference is really a 360 view on love and relationships as they pertain to those on the spectrum and their families and loved ones. One of the things that I've recognized as a professional is that there isn't enough attention on relationships. And relationships, are with us from the cradle to the grave. And so I wanted to put together a conference that had thought leaders from on the spectrum and neurotypical thought leaders together. Are we having an issue?
No.
No, we've got you.
We've got you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry.
Can you hear us?
I can.
Great. You're back.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So, Jenny, I want to take just a second to talk about our teens and young adults. If there is somebody who's a teenager or a young adult on the spectrum, is this a great conference for them to come to as well? And what kind of information will be available for them? Because we get questions a lot from young people writing into us saying that this is a big part of their life and that feels like a big mystery. They don't know how to meet and connect with people in a meaningful way, and it's something they desperately, desperately want.
Absolutely. So we have actually identified some of the speakers that would be really appropriate and informational and inspiring even for teens and young adults on the spectrum. Some of the topics, when we're talking about the mother-child relationship, may not be all that interesting. And so when a teen or adult is interested in coming to the conference, I identify the speakers that they should attend or could attend. And then we have a break room available for people to go to if they're not as interested in one of the speakers. But I think that Paul Loden is going to offer something really special to individuals on the spectrum. He's a young man that identifies as autistic, and he's going to be talking about how the culture and the media related to love, of being homegrown on romantic comedies, doesn't necessarily work for those on the spectrum, and how to deconstruct the media and what is really actually necessary to have the relationship that people desire.
Well, I know that there'll be a lot of people who are interested in that. But for Nancy and I, we've got young men that are they're tweens.
Yeah,
about
tweens.
To be teens.
Well, mine's 1 year older. Wyatt is 12. He's going to be 13 in November. Jem is
Jem's
11. And there's starting to be, a recognition. Well, not so much. My son tends to be the one that the girls are starting to follow behind, especially other girls on the spectrum, and then neurotypical girls tend to want to take care of him. But it's kind of a delicate time for us.
It is a delicate time, and I know I always want to couch things in a way that's productive and doesn't scare him. But it's they're still in that boyish phase where they're all arms and legs and all huggy and stuff. But it's a rough time. So I'd love to. Is there information for us when we have that funky age teenager?
Right. Well, I think that actually the talk that I'm going to be doing about we moments, and that's just my non-clinical term for intersubjectivity, and how to really help your child relate in their most connected way through daily practice with you, and that ends up transferring to the other more challenging, less familiar relationships, as well as how parents can get through some of the sticky spots of the teenage years, the moodiness, when they want to talk about something tender, vulnerable, and that it's hard to get to that without being super directive or, just telling them how to do something. Kind of a discovery, how to help your children discover what they need to know about relationships rather than kind of the cram down your throat thing that.
And the topic is love, but I'm guessing that we're talking a little bit about sex as well.
I think that Lindsay Nebeker and David Hamrick may get into more of the intimate details of their relationship. And they're a couple who is living together. Both of them identify on the spectrum. And that love, dating, and unconditional love are something that can and do happen with people on the spectrum.
Yes.
And that does include things like kissing, hugging, and sex.